Elliot Grinch.
Alright, what's going on, everyone? GameboyEG back with another LSPDFR GTA 5 tutorial. More so LSPDFR, let me put it like that. But anyway, long story short, let me get right into it to what everybody is curious about. So I did another update. I'm doing another update rather to settings. This still applies to trying to use the bare minimum that you can as far as mods, plugins, scripts, things of that nature when using LSPDFR. So long story short, I always use Natural Vision Remastered, which is now outdated because they do have a new version out. I wasn't always using ENB and reshades. So I started using them. I started off with the ENB reshade, which comes with Natural Vision Remastered. If you are unaware, when you add an ENB or reshade, it's going to make adjustments to your settings, graphic settings, which it did. I wound up removing, because I was going to try another ENB and reshade. So when I removed that one and I started my game up, I had realized that I didn't, not until I looked at my settings, it made adjustments to the settings. But it was a good thing, because when I removed the ENB and the reshade from my game, if you take a look in the corner, my frames per second were were higher than normal. And let me just show you, because right now I have the VSync on. If you're not aware what VSync does, VSync is for your TV or the refresh rate. That's the best way to put it. So VSync, when you have it on, will keep you, if you're depending on your screen, which most screens have a refresh rate of 60 megahertz. So with VSync on, it will keep, so you don't get tears and rips in your screen. It will keep your refresh rate at 60 when you have it on. If you turn it halfway, of course, it'll go to 30. And if you turn it off, this applies for screens with a refresh rate of higher than 60 megahertz. Like if you got 144, like, when you're playing a regular game or a normal game, then it will be higher. Okay, did I turn it off? Hold on a second. Let me see. What did I just do? Okay, VSync is off. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So anyway, I had turned, I had VSync off. And just to show you, I am on duty. And, okay, right now over here, it's not going as high as it did. But initially, I was getting, as you can see, it's starting to go up more and more. And, we're now in like 60, 66. When I first did it, I was, as you can see, at 68. Starting to populate a little bit more over here. But I'm going to go somewhere else. We're going to go to another location. And but anyway, I had frames per second that was in the 70s, 77. It was, it threw me off. I was like, what's wrong with my game? Thought something was wrong. Then I had just remembered that I removed, as you can see, look, so I'm still on duty. And I'm in the 80s. But like I told you, that's a problem spot. Mission Row, Vinewood, those are problem spots. But if you take a look, I'm in the 80s. And forget about it if we go to we're going to go up into the counties. Where I told you, if in the counties where there's less things happening, less graphics and, textures being, populated, you have better frames per second. Teleport. And if you take a look, now we're in the 90s. I'm still on duty. All right. So anyway, long story short, the ENB and the reshade made adjustments to my my settings. So I'm probably like most other people, especially if you have an Nvidia card and if you're using the Geforce Experience, which I always used. I always kept it at the optimal, whatever the Geforce put as the optimal setting for my game, for my GTA 5 game. That's what I always used. But anyway, I am using the settings from the EMB reshade, the adjustment it made, which, like I said, I think, I'm not, it doesn't look any different really to me, obviously with the naked eye. I really can't tell any difference from the optimal settings. And I have Natural Vision Remastered installed in this game. I just took out the EMB and the reshade. And like I said, I prefer the frames per second to be higher. I keep the VSync on because you could, if your monitor cannot handle the refresh rate, you can get a game crash. And that's what was happening to me. So this screen that I have is for 60 megahertz, so I keep the VSync on and it will keep me in the 60 range. So let's get right to it. So these were the setting changes. So definitely, you can adjust them accordingly for your game. But like always, I tell you, this is just a baseline, a guide. All right. You don't have to stay with this. It's up to you. All right. But pause the video. And if you want to, do the same, by all means, go for it. All right. But the direct, I have the DirectX version, DirectX 11, window borderless, same resolution, aspect ratio, auto. That's my monitor. Let me get rid of that radio. FXAA is on, MSAA off, VSync on, pause game on focus loss is on. My population, everything is off. Is at the minimum, all the way to the left. Texture quality very high, shader very high, shadow very high, reflection, ultra, reflection, MSAA ×4, water quality very high, particles very high, grass quality. For me, remember I told you I keep mine on normal. That's just because I don't want the grass protruding through any maps I may use. Soft shadows, softest. Post effects, ultra, that's going to always be ultra. Motion blur, I keep mine at 0. In-game depth of field effects on. Anti-subtropic filtering, X16. I said anti, I guess, right? Anti-subtropic filtering. If I'm butchering that, forgive me. Okay, ambient occlusion is at a high, and tessellation very high. And those are the settings that were installed by we're gonna open up my Geforce Experience and take a look at that, so you can see the difference between the optimal and these settings. All right, but like I said, I have, I'm all about the frames per second. So I'm sure there were probably people who know this, because I've seen some people playing with a bunch of mods, and I'm gonna show you. I was actually able to add in a couple of plugins. I didn't add too many, but I added a couple of more plugins, and this is the result. So let's go down here first, and as you can take a look. But like I said, once we open up and even look at this, we have menu opened up. Let me change my wardrobe, and I'm still not taking the hit like I was before, not as much. But that's in this area. If I probably go to Mission Row, it might be different. I'm gonna go to Mission Row to spawn a car. So let's go ahead and as I told you, I was able to convert most of my EUP the male versions. I'm gonna do the females next. But these are the male versions from the EUP. I'm looking for the task force. Where's the task? I like to wear the task force outfit. There we go. And we're going to teleport now to Mission Row, back to Mission Row. And go. All right, so we're still in the 60s, which is good. All right, 60 frames per second. And we're going to open up. Let me spawn a vehicle. And we're just going to drive around this area. I always test this area because if I can get decent frames per second in this area, everywhere else should not be an issue. This is the area. For some reason, it's a lot of, and also, and let me also say some other things. I'm gonna show you some other settings that I did adjust to get rid of, because it was causing I removed a lot of the what do you call it, features that LSPDFR 0.4 this version adds. I got rid of a lot of that stuff. I turned a lot of that stuff off because it was giving me, I don't know if anybody else was having this issue, but I was having issues with the MP3 mode mods, MP3 mode PEDs just spawning anywhere on top of vehicles. It was just becoming too much for me. It was getting on my nerves. So I was able, so far with this, with the features that I turned off, I seem to not have that issue any longer. Okay, I'm gonna rock this the Strawberry Davis livery. But anyway, still at 60 frames per second. You know, you're gonna get the little dips here and there. And I'm gonna probably have to take these. I have rubber bands on my joysticks. I've seen that as a way to like try to decrease the sound of the left and right thumb. But it's getting, the way I did it is making it difficult to control the sticks. I may have to make some adjustments with that. I'm going to have to. Anyway, like I said, look at this. I can't even turn. Let me hold on a second. Let me take these rubber bands. Let me make some adjustments here. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Okay, there we go. And so as you can still see, 60 frames per second, upper 50s. As long as we're not in the 40s and 30s, I don't mind. Okay, we're driving around the block, and as you can see, I have this is a MLO. I have the Police Academy still installed. Let's go over here. 60 frames per second still. And like I said, the callouts, the normal callouts from LSPDFR, I still have those on. And I haven't added any other callout packs yet. And look at that. And so far, and in this area in particular, I would see a lot of MP free mode PEDs just spawning, standing on top of the vehicle for no dang reason. And as you can see, I have keep the effing door open installed. I put that back in. The only, with what I did, you'll get some police officers that will spawn outside. If you really need cops in here, you can do a map mod, you know. But the cops that were in here, they just walking around. Some of them are just standing, doing nothing. It's the same thing you can do with make your own map. Use menu, and you can make a map if you want to add that for immersion, you know. But this is actually another MLO for the Mission Road Davis Station. I think I'm gonna do a video just showcasing the MLO police stations that I have installed. But anyway, I'm not gonna go through all that right now. I just want to show my settings now. So hopefully this will help some people out. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and I actually installed, let me just show, like, I did put in a few other plugins. So this is the one for store the gun, hold my gun. I think that's what it's called, hold my gun, where you can store your rifle or shotgun. So I put that back in the game, equipping the shotgun, and look at that, no frame per second loss. So I have that installed. I did install Scene Manager again. This is the and this is actually the 1.0. I prefer the 1.0. The updates that were created just were jacking up my game. So I have no problem. I don't need to use the controller. I mean, I use the controller, but to open up the menu, I don't mind pushing the keybind. It's no big deal, as long as it works. What else do I have in here? I want to see what other, if anything, that I can show quickly as far as mods. Compulite, Stop the Ped, all the normal ones are in here. But like I said, I was able to keep the door open. and a few others. We're going to go to my desktop and take a look at things. But I just wanted to show this. So with these settings, you know, it's decent. Let's take a look. What's going on over here? And that's why I say, like, Mission Row is just a crazy location. All right, so we have this car over here. And they're not. Okay, now they're moving. Okay. And that's going to happen. And that's why you got to try to keep vehicles moving. As you can see, the more population, cars just sitting there. And the frames per second, as you can see, started to dip, but nothing crazy. We're still up there. We're still in a high value. You see, so it's just too many, you know, too much population going on. If you drive away and come back, frames per second go back up. All right. So I think it's a good thing. So, you know, make sure, you know, jot down those settings. And like I said, we're gonna open up my Geforce Experience and take a look at the difference between the optimal and the settings that are applied from the Natural Vision Remastered ENB reshade settings. All right, but let's go to my desktop, okay? All right. So meanwhile, back at my desktop, I went ahead and already opened up Nvidia Geforce. For a lot of you who, like myself, have Nvidia video cards as your GPU, and I opened up my GTA 5 folder. So let's minimize this for a moment. Let's start with my folder. Couple of things in here. So like I said, I do have Natural Vision Remastered installed. As you can tell, this is the time cycle within the main GTA 5 folder. This is pretty within the main folder are pretty much the same. I didn't add any no ASI mods outside of the ones that you've seen in my previous videos. So there's nothing to look at in here, nothing that I've taken away. Within my scripts, this I point this out. This is Big Map. I point this out as a mod you might want to use. Reason being because I'm going to show you within my LSPDFR.ini, like I said, a few features I've removed. I disabled. It's not for me. It just added better performance. Some of the stuff within the LSPDFR new features I don't need. I don't use them. So. But big maps is the reason I use big maps is because it allows you to, if you with the mini map that's on the when in your gameplay, the mini map at the bottom left hand corner, you can, you know, with big map it helps you, it allows you to enlarge the mini map, you know. So this is what I prefer to use, my preference. What else? Casino Lights is just a visual. Don't Let Me Smash, GTA 4 exit style, map fixes, that's also a visual, and that's it. No rectangle trunk, but none of this has anything to do with the frames per second. Let's get right to plugins. Okay, like I said, I added Hold My Gun. The EUP, disregard that because I just did a video the other day and it was just to showcase how to convert or change the EUP wardrobe from EUP and added, you know, make it a wardrobe outfit within menu. So disregard, don't worry about the EUP menu. Y'all know I don't use that. Hold My Gun, keep the door open, OC spray, scene manager, spotlight. Okay, LSPDFR folder, ultimate backup, traffic policer, stop the ped. I put force a call out back in. That's just because I prefer. I just like the I like Albo's smart police smart radio. I can't stop using that. Even no matter how many of the same items are added to stop the ped, I still will use police smart radio. I just can't put that down. And like I said, I'm gonna probably try to add another 1 or 2 LSPDFR plugins and see what happens. But that's it. That's it with that. Now going into LSPDFR, the INI. All right. And for me, some things I disabled. I just, and this goes to, I'm going to jack his name up, but I can't remember. But somebody reached out to me on YouTube and we were discussing about, texture loss. And texture loss can come from numerous things, but definitely we know it's just if there's just too many things that are persistent as far as graphics, something's gonna have to give. Eventually, it's gonna take away from somewhere to try to make it work here. But if it can't, then it's just your textures are just gonna disappear. They're gonna just vanish, and that's pretty much that. That's the way I was I interpret it. So therefore, you have to figure out a way to minimize the amount of textures that are persistent or present on your screen. So, and also, because if there's, you can have some textures that are persistent and may not even be on your screen. They may be elsewhere that the game has to try to keep going. But anyway, a lot of things I disabled. It's up to you. So this is actually straight from the LSPDFR wiki. So in case you're not aware about the different settings that you can implement or disable, go to LSPDFR and take a look at the wiki. And this will tell you the things that you can turn on and turn off. We'll just look at a couple of them. But you have main preload all models. Loads all models that will be used by the mod at startup. This reduces loading time and possible micro stuttering during gameplay, but will increase memory usage. If you use many vehicle mods and encounter texture loss, turning this off might help freeing up memory. All right. Then we have, this is what I was talking about with the big map. I disable big radar. The game radar map is enlarged while a call out is being displayed. I turned that off. I don't need for I can do that on my own if I need to. Call out multiplier. Likelihood of a call out to happen, the higher, the more likely. Setting this to 0 disables call outs. So on and so forth. It's a whole there's a whole bunch of settings and features that you can turn on and turn off. In particular, let's take a look at the ones that I've turned on and turned off. So the first one we had just read, the main preload all models. I made that false. I turned that off. I don't need for the game to load everything up, because it helps with the it just helps not having so much stuff running or being started during the game for no reason. So I disabled it. That's just me. Call out multiply, I lowered the number. I don't need the frequency of call outs, as you can see, to be so high. I think there's only 2 call outs from LSPDFR, which is the robbery, the store robbery, and what's the other one? It's down here somewhere. Where is it? Call out. Somewhere here. I'm going too fast. Let me slow down. Chase police station. All right, but we know there's pretty much only 2 call outs in just the regular GTA, in the regular LSPDFR, and definitely one is the store robbery. Where is it? I'm losing my mind. All right, thought it's the hold up, call out, and thought there was another one. Thought there was a second one. I know the hold up, call out, but anyway, that's the frequency of how often the call out will spawn. I also turned off world events, which is here. World events, interval, multiplier, world events, max number of events. Likelihood of a world event to happen, the higher, the more likely. Setting this to 0 disables world events. Maximum number of world events that can run at the same time. So even with a setting of 1, there's no need, with all the other call outs that you're going to be using, do you really need call outs to be like almost on top of each other? I turned those off. I just disabled them. Chase cops can commandeer vehicles. I turned that off because it actually, if you read it, I don't need for the chase cops, if they can't stay in a police car, I don't need for them to jump into just any civilian vehicle, joining into the pursuit. Chase cops can commandeer vehicles. Specifies whether cops can commandeer civilian vehicles during chases. No need for that. Chase disable camera focus. I put that on true to disable it. Ambient escaped suspects. I turn this on and off. This is the interval. How often, how frequent, at the time rate, an escape that you'll encounter a suspect who escaped from you previously, which leads to the next one, which is ambient disable escape suspect encounter. So I have it turned off for now, but you can turn it on. Yeah, it does add to more realism if you're able to run into someone who escaped from you previously. I think that is a dope feature. But right now I have it turned off for the purposes of trying to get the best performance frame per second wise. This has to do ambient disable player flashlight override. That has to do with a feature that's installed in Stop the Ped with using their flashlight. I believe it's so that all the officers will utilize the Stop the Ped flashlight. Call outs disable big radar. We spoke about that. Ambient disable ambient game cop spawn block disable. So I have this at false. This is where you'll have the vehicles from LSPDFR, not from Grand Theft Auto, spawn around the area, the ambient police cars. So if you have, say if you change the livery on a particular model of a car, so you won't have the regular LSPDFR vehicles just spawning at the stations. You'll actually have the vehicle with the liveries that you implemented and that you placed on the LSPDFR agency. I believe it's agency INI file. You'll have those cars spawn around the location. Not just the regular standard police 2, police 3 vehicles, and so forth. What else? Ambient spawn, max spawn cops in area. That is, where is that? Cops in area. Specifies the maximum number of ambient cops created by LSPDFR in an area at any time. Setting this to 0 disables ambient spawning. Is that what I just read? Right. Ambient max spawn cops in area. Okay, so I set that to 0. And I believe that is why MP free mode cops were just spawning anywhere with no uniform, spawning on top of vehicles. I put that at 0. The same way I did ambient spawn max cops in area. Max cops in area. That's these two. Specifies the maximum number of ambient cops in an area at any time. Setting this to 0 disables ambient spawning. I put those at 0. And like I said, I so far have not seen any of those MP free mode cops on top of vehicles within my game and just spawning with no uniforms on, serving no purpose. So I put those at 0, and that also takes away from the cops spawning. I believe this setting takes away from the cops spawning in the station. I don't need it. I can make a map mod if I needed to for that. Chase exhaustion interval. So these settings are for, of course, the suspects when you have to chase them. I can't stand long foot pursuits. So I want that assailant. He should not be running like what's it called? He should not be running like oh my goodness, I'm having a brain freeze right now. He should not be running like Usain Bolt. Let's put it like that. You need to catch your breath too. So I added these two and changed the settings, for my needs. Police station, disable ambient spawn. So I think this is the setting. Let's go to that. I believe that's the one that takes away the police inside the station. Specifies whether ambient units can spawn and populate a police station. It is recommended to enable this setting when encountering texture loss. So I disabled it. So disable equals true. All right, I don't need them inside the station. No big deal. Chase, disable ambient AI. And that is where we at? Chase disabled ambient. Did I pass it? Yeah, there we go. That also has to do with performance setting. Chase disabled ambient AI specifies whether ambient vehicle AI is affected during chases. It is recommended to enable this setting when encountering performance issues during chases. So anything that deals with the performance, I pretty much disabled. All right, so specifies whether ambient vehicle AI is affected during chases. Yeah, I disabled it. Has to do with performance, I disable it. And because I believe a lot of the things that LSPDFR was trying to implement, you have like ultimate backup, which has its own way of doing things. So, like I said, it seems like it's like a conflict of interest, quote unquote. So no need for everybody. No need for two different jobs being done by two different mods. It's just no need. I don't think there's any need for it. So I disable it. So I made it true. Ambient spawn, disable random units. That is where? Spawn, disable once again with performance. Specifies whether ambient units can spawn. It is recommended to enable this setting when encountering texture loss. So once again, yep, disable, true. So I have that turned off. And we go to, what's next? Networking, disable server, and that, yeah. I don't need for my computer to be communicating with LSPDFR or Discord, so I turn those off. Where is that at? Networking. The less that my computer has to do or worry about, the better. That's just me. Oh, here. So we have specifies whether any kind of LSPDFR server communication should be disabled. Yep. And disable Discord rich presence. Specifies whether Discord rich presence for LSPDFR should be disabled. And that is also true. True and true. Key handler. This I know. And it's right here. It's right above. So key handler specifies whether help boxes in the game indicating what keys to use will always display the keyboard controls. If you don't have, I have a separate Word document for my keybinds. Plus a lot of them I already know by heart. I don't need for a box to pop up to tell me what my keybinds are. So I disabled it. So always display keyboard keys, false. So that's what I have in my LSPDFR.ini. So that was something I just started messing with when I started looking at the settings on the wiki. All right, so we'll close that out. And let's go to Geforce, the Geforce Experience. And this should be the last thing I have to show you guys. So we're going to go to Grand Theft Details. So if you take a look, This is what I've always been using, the optimal. Okay, which was set by Geforce Experience. I figured they knew what they were talking about. And we're just going to take a look at the difference between optimal and current. Now, with the display mode, that's my preference. I always use windowed borderless. I don't utilize full screen. Window borderless to me appears like full screen. It looks like it on my screen. It looks like it's the full screen. So, but anyway, let's go through the differences. So ambient occlusion, they both put high. I'm not even going to jack this word up again. Anisotropic filtering. Let me know if I got that right in the comments. Is X16 for both, DirectX 11, window borderless, full screen. Distance scaling, I have 0. Adjust the distance at which game elements are seen and their detail level when rendered. Like I said, the natural vision setting for the what's it called, reshade, and once again, brain freeze. What did I just say? That I was using the oh my goodness, ENB. Oh my, I'm drawing a blank. Hold on, let me open it up. It's gonna kill me. Let's go to, I think it's here, my visuals folder. So as you can see, I have tons of mods saved. Natural vision, remastered and outdated. Okay, and ENB. Okay, so I had the reshade and ENB, and I actually had the normal preset installed. This is what I had installed. And then I just removed all of these. Removed all these files, but it had already made the changes to my settings on its own. So I just want a good thing. So I was able to show you that. So like I said, so we have that at 0. Extended distance scaling is 0. Optimal had it at 10. Extended shadow distance, 0. They had it at 100. They actually turned on FXAA, fast post process, anti. I'm gonna jack that up. Ally. I'm messing up right now. Aliasing, is that how you say it? I don't know. That removes jagged edges from game elements. So FXAA is on. Optimal had it off. Grass quality, I have it at normal. You can put it at ultra. You can probably put it at high, whatever. I don't think it'll make a difference in with these settings. And let's go down to high detail. Stream while flying is off. Optimal had it on. High resolution shadows is off. They have it on. In-game depth of field effects on, and they both have it on. Long shadows off. Optimal had it on. MSAA is off. They have it at ×4. Nvidia TXAA is off. They have it on, of course, because it's their product. Particle quality very high. Both were very high. Population density, I have it as off. They have 100%. Population variety, they have it. I have it off. They have it at 100%. Post effects both have it on. Reflection MSAA, they have it. It's at ×4. Optimal has it at ×8. And like I said, this is just a baseline. You could tweak it and see how it, see if it has any effect to you or what your preference may be. But just this is a baseline. We're trying to get better frames per second. So reflection quality, both have it at ultra. Resolution, because I'm on a 4K screen, but I have it set at 1920 by 1080. They have it at the 4K level. Shader quality, both very high. Shadow quality, both very high. Soft shadows, they have it at the softest. Nvidia, of course, they're going to push their product. Tessellation, very high, very high. Texture quality, both have it at auto. Water quality, very high for both. Nvidia and Nvidia multi-frame sampled anti-aliasing. And they both have it off. So that's it. So now, I've given you a little bit better settings that, as you've seen in the gameplay, it's a little better than the optimal. I don't have no problem with it. I'm gonna use it in my next patrol. You guys get down in the comments on that. Let me know what you think. All right. So hopefully this helps you. This new baseline helps you with the settings, plus what I mentioned as far as with the plugins and use of mods. And we can hopefully get a little bit better gameplay out of LSPDFR. So anyway, GameboyEG signing out with another one. I appreciate all the new subscribers as always. It's always appreciated. All the people I've met in the community and I speak with, and that we communicate and throw information back and forth. Also, please share to like, share, subscribe as always. Hit that notification bell. Also hit the notification bell and put all so that you're aware of anything that I drop with YouTube. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Be safe.